So the first thing we're going to do is pop a primer on, and the one that I'm using today is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I'm just using my ring finger just to apply that all over the lid, up through the brows. And what I'm actually going to do is just take it underneath as well, so that when we go to put the shadows underneath, that it's got something to adhere to and something for it to kind of blend into as such. So I've just taken the MAC eyebrow pencil instead, and I'm just using that to start defining my brows. Sometimes with more dramatic looks I do find it easier to do the brows first, so I'm just kind of elongating the brows out a little bit, making them a little bit more thicker, just to give them a bit more definition and to frame the face. So with the brows, all I have done now is just taken a little bit of MAC's Brun eyeshadow, and I'm literally just running that through the brows. It's almost to kind of even out any gaps or spaces that I might have left out with the pencil, and it just gives them a little bit more definition, especially with quite a bold look. Sometimes you need a little bit more of a stronger brow. So here what I've done is I've taken MAC's Black Gram Paint Pot, and I'm just putting that onto the eyelid. So this is just kind of staying underneath the crease. So the reason I've done this is to create more of a sort of opaque dark base for the red to lie on top. So I wanted more of a kind of cranberry sort of colour, but I wanted to keep it matte and not shimmery. So hence that's why I've used the MAC's Black Brown Paint Pot, and then I will layer my red shadow on top so it has a bit more impact. So what I wanted to do was create a more of a sort of pinky transitional colour as opposed to a sort of tan colour. So I've used a little bit of Dolly Mix blusher by MAC, and I'm just using that on a MAC 217, and I'm just placing that into the crease, so edging it more towards the brow and following the sort of line of the tape so that we get that sort of really nice winged out effect. So I've just taken Sugar Pills Love Plus and I've just taken that on a MAC 242 brush, and I'm just using that to really pack the colour on. So the synthetic brush tends to sort of pack colours on a little bit better. So I'm taking that over the mobile eyelid and up towards the crease slightly, and just really working that into the MAC's Black Gram Paint Pot. So as you can see, in between the two eyes, you can see the difference that it has. It makes it just seem a little bit more redder. So here I've taken a Laura Mercier flat eyeliner brush, and I've taken some gel eyeliner in black, and all I've done is literally just run it into the root of the lashes all the way along the sort of shape of the eye. And again, this is just going to start to give us some definition and fill in any sort of flesh coloured spaces that we may have on the root of the So I'm just using the same gel eyeliner, and all I'm doing now is creating a winged liner. So I'm just using a brush. I actually picked this brush up from Hobbycraft probably about 1.5 years ago to 2 years ago. It's just a really nice sort of sturdy brush, and it sort of places the product quite well. I'm just going to use the tape actually as a sort of guideline. So again, if you aren't as steady with your hands and you want to create more of a winged liner, the tape sort of effect is quite a good technique because it sort of gives you your rough guideline as such. So I'm just edging that back in on itself and just creating a more sort of thicker line. So now what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to start to darken the outer corner. I don't want to take the black in too far in because I don't want to become too smoky. So I'm literally just using that on a CVS brush, and I'm just using the Laura Mercier Noir eyeshadow. This is one of my favourite eyeshadows. I do prefer this eyeshadow to MAC's Carbon. I find MAC's Carbon goes a little bit more sort of blue on me. but if you know of a better black eyeshadow, or you have any other black eyeshadows that you could recommend, please do let me know. But if you are looking for a really good black eyeshadow, I would definitely recommend this one. It's a real sort of true black. It's very, very pigmented, so you really only need a little bit, and you'll find that it really goes a long way. So here, as you can see, all I'm doing is just softening that sort of winged liner that we have created, and I'm literally just using the black on that sort of dome shaped brush, and I'm just applying it, and then I'm sort of blending it out with the 217. And these are steps that you will need to sort of flit in between those two brushes, and applying that black and then blending it out with the 217, just so that you get the effect and the intensity that you need. So all I did here was just to take a little bit of concealer and just running it through the base of the brows. So this is a good technique if you've taken your blending too high. You can almost use the concealer as an eraser, but it also adds to the contour of the face as well. So I'm just running a dome brush underneath, and I've just dipped that into the red eyeshadow that I was using. And I'm just taking that from the inner corner of the eye all the way to the outer corner of the eye. So this is going to create a little bit more of a smoked out lower lash. And so here what I did was I took a liner brush and I dipped that into the gel liner. So what I wanted to do was just work that into the root of the lash line once again, so you get that really intense black sort of sooty lash line. And also just pop it into the waterline, so once again you get that kind of lovely sort of definition. And here what I did was I just literally took a little bit more gel eyeliner and I sort of started to wing it out. I didn't want the lower lash line to become too dramatic because I still kind of wanted it to be wearable, but by sort of creating a slight wing to the bottom lash line, it almost just opened up the eye a little bit, gave a little bit more sort of an interesting sort of feeling to the eye. I just didn't want it to become too dramatic and too almost heavy on the lower lash. And it's lash time. So I'm using the Eyelaw Nadine lashes, and I'm just using that with the Duo Lash Adhesive, and this one is the dark one. So I just used my fingers just to kind of lower them onto the lash line and just sort of wiggle them closer into the root of the lashes. And then I've just used a pair of tweezers just to tuck the corners in. These ones are on a slightly thicker band. They're a bit more harder to work with, but if you use a pair of tweezers it should be absolutely fine. Moving on to my base, I use the Illamasqua Skin Base, and this one is in shade, I think, 13. So I'm just using that with the Real Techniques buffing brush, and there's my little one poking his head round, asking, "Mummy, what are you doing?" So yeah, just use that with a buffing brush, and I'm literally just using that all over the face and just really working it into the skin. So I'm just using my concealer brush now just to conceal underneath my eyes and just along the sort of cheek area a little bit. I also applied a little bit onto my forehead and to the bridge of my nose just to give a little bit more dimension to the face. And all I'm doing is just using a Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage brush and a MAC 224 just to blend that out. So to contour the cheekbones now, I just use a little bit of the Derma Blend palette. These are just one of the darker colours that are in there. I didn't want to go too crazy with the contouring. I just wanted to keep it sort of as soft as possible, but you still need a little bit more definition with this look. So I'm just using my fingers just to sort of blend that into the skin. Just setting underneath the eye now with a little bit of the banana powder by Ben Nye. So it's a kind of yellow based powder, and I'm just using a makeup sponge in order to do. So I used a little bit of MAC's Arena for a highlight, so it is an eyeshadow, but it's perfect for the Asian skin tone, or sort of medium to dark skin tones, because it has a sort of slight peachiness to it, so it's not too cool toned. So in line with the eyes, I just wanted to apply something that was very kind of light pink onto the cheeks. Again, this is Dolly Mix by MAC, and I'm just using a screen face blusher brush. A little bit of a tongue twister there. And I'm just lining my lips with a sort of pinky kind of nude lip liner. This one is Sublime. And just for a little bit more dimension, I added some glitter. This is MAC's gold glitter to the inner corners of. And for the lips, I just used Barry M's 146 Nude. Okay guys, that's the finished look. I hope you liked it. Please give me a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment and subscribe. I've got loads more tutorials. If you subscribe, you will see them. And that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you very soon.